straight from the projects of New York, our hometown. One of the best comedians out here, Marlon Wayans, into the building.
All day. What part? I'm not gonna
guess. Just I know you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's do this New York thing.
I know that's just so stereotypical. Washington Heights.
Dykeman. So close.
Washington Heights Jr.
What's that mean? Hold on, take me through that because I'm not from New York. So
all
you knew
the Dominicans
instantly.
live in like
the same place.
Oh, really?
It's like a part of New York.
So you knew instantly.
Yeah, well, I was gonna guess, and then she was like, guess, and I was like, Washington Heights. She's like Dykeman. I was like, same thing.
Not really, but okay. I'll let you slide.
That's so funny.
So what are you doing here, man? What's going on in Dallas?
I'm doing a show tonight at the Prairie.
Verizon
at the Verizon Center.
Yeah, the
Verizon Theater in Grand Prairie. You're in Grand Prairie. Is that
in Grand Prairie?
Yeah, I knew you when you said Prairie. Okay.
And it's a show, and it's me, D-Ray, Coco Brown, Rudy, and like one other person, and me.
I recently heard you talking about like your stand-up. You're switching it up, making it more personal about your life, your family. Is this what you're gonna get into tonight?
Oh yeah, my daughter just pissed me off, so I'm gonna talk about her all. She's getting it.
Why? What happened? What happened? Why did she
was just like, don't post me. I'm saying I posted a cute picture of you.
Oh.
You know how many bad pictures I have in my phone of you? I posted a good one. I know, but then you tag me, and I'm trying to remain private until I'm famous. I'm like, but I'm famous, and you're my sperm, so I should be able to.
That's so funny. I think a lot of parents do struggle with that. Like, do you have to ask for your kids' permission to post them?
Well, she's grown.
She pissed me off so badly. I posted. Sometimes it sucks being the nice guy, and sometimes I just want to say "F you," but I wanted to say "F you, kids," but I didn't want people to get offended by it.
You know, that's so interesting with stand-up.
Can you say? Can I curse?
Yeah.
Can
Swear
I say
to God.
you,
Yeah,
daughter?
say,
Is that wrong?
I mean, if that's how you
feel like, yo, fuck daughter, is it wrong?
Okay, yeah, at least you're being honest about your feelings.
Piss me off. Like, people, you hurt my feelings. I'm posting something sweet, and you tell me don't post you.
So is this the same feeling she gets when you talk about her during your stand-up comedy bit?
Oh, well, so she's going to have a hell of a night tonight. She's going to be turning her sleep.
What's inappropriate when it comes to stand-up comedy? I feel like this is a interesting conversation that's been having a lot lately. You think nothing's off limits when it comes to stand-up comedy?
I have a comedy club, nothing.
Really?
You funny? Nothing. You got to be able to talk about it. It's the world's therapy. So if you can't talk about a topic because it's too taboo, how do we heal it? What's beautiful about a laugh is even if you and I disagree, we can come together and agree to disagree and laugh. And for that moment, we've healed tensions. That's the beauty of comedy. So I don't think any especially if it's your experience. If it's something you're going through, do it. I don't care.
So there's never been a moment when you felt like, oof, I went too far. I probably
I go too far, but that's
but you've never felt guilty about it?
No, I'll go further. If the audience makes me feel like, I like to go a little bit further. I just want to piss you off just a little bit more, make you feel a little bit more uncomfortable.
But like, so Jay Leno just recently, I think it was Leno who said this, like, you can make comments about like racial stereotypes from a general standpoint, but when you talk about specifics, that's when you kind of like, this is where like, they were having a conversation with, you shouldn't go there anymore. You shouldn't go with these stereotypical jokes anymore. And he was like, I disagree when it comes to terms of stand-up comedy. And it seems like you're in the same field.
Comedy, let us back away from the jokes. Let us do this.
Yeah, like everyone who's criticizing the stand-up comedians.
Hey, don't mix that much hydrogen with that much oxygen. It's gonna blow up in your face. Just step away from the materials and let him do what he does. This is what we do, and you mix them up. And you see how many parts of what part. It's like you going like a bartender. You're gonna tell him how much gin should he put inside whatever drink he's making? No, shut up and drink. That's all.
I agree with you.
He makes the delicious drink. Drink it. And if it's too strong, go, still strong. And he goes, all right, I'll make it better on the next one. But until then, shut up, enjoy that one. Again, next one's on me.
I agree with you that like this is supposed to be a safe zone where nothing's off limits and you're allowed to just laugh for a second. But I think the problem is most people are kind of like idiots where they get desensitized and then they think it's okay everywhere. And so now I can say whatever I want, whenever I want, because they don't know that you're not in a comedy club anymore.
I grew up in New York City.
Yeah.
In the projects. And you know what we did? We talked shit to each other all the time. And you know what we did? Sometimes we was racist. And you know what we did? Sometimes we fought black people against white people. And we fought. And Puerto Ricans versus Dominicans. And they fought. But then when somebody tried to attack our block, those same people I fought protected me from the other block. This is the country we live in. This is the neighborhoods we grew up in. Stop acting like everything's supposed to be perfect. It's not f***ing perfect. It's not supposed to be. Some of my best friends I made in fights. And to this day, they're still my friends. Just because I fought you, that means I disagree with you. I didn't like what you said. And now we fought, and now we have a new understanding. It's okay to do that. We live in America. And what's happening is, these aren't even American thoughts. This is not American posturing. We're being told what to think and what to say by social media, who's controlled by other countries that's killing our First Amendment. So y'all go ahead and go with that stupidity if y'all want to. I'm going to remain an American and keep my freedom of speech and keep my freedom of thought and have my opinions about whatever.
I'm just glad I asked you a question that you clearly had no opinion about.
Right.
No, but you know what it is? It's just I love this. I love not just comedy. I love our country.
Yeah,
I love. Look at the different flavors that we got. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty.
I think people think that when you disagree with somebody and then it becomes personal, you can disagree with them and still like them. You know?
Yeah. Or you can make
that's
fun
what makes
of them.
it.
I make fun of all my friends. They know if you're a friend of mine, I'm probably gonna make fun of you.
Let me ask you this though.
Yes.
So like you know how you make racial commentary when you're on stage. Is it the same like if a white comedian makes like comments about
Is it
people of
funny?
color?
If it's funny,
Then it's cool.
I'm gonna laugh.
Okay.
Don Rickles had some really funny racist jokes, but it was funny. Like you can have an opinion about a different culture, especially if you have the experience. And if it's funny, I'm gonna laugh. I don't need you to be that. Black people don't just have to tell jokes about black people. Black people tell jokes about white people all the time.
It's true.
And so white people can tell jokes about black people. It works both ways.
Is it funny?
Yeah, as long as it's funny.
Is it funny? Who's telling the joke? And if it's in bad taste, you know it's in bad taste. If you get a ooh and no laughs behind it, well, if you do a joke and 400 people walk out, that's a terrible joke. But if you do but if you do a joke and 400 people are laughing and one person walks out, that's just a sensitive motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right. Sure.
What's going on in your personal life? You talked about that you said your daughter, but what else is going on that you feel like is different than...
Stop trying to get free material. Come out to the show.
Right.
Well, see that.
What's happening in your personal life more so than behind your career? I feel like all you do is work. So what's going on personally?
I mean, I work, but there's other things I do. So I'm a dad. You know what I mean? I date. I live. I got stuff to talk about. I have sex. I poo. You know what I mean?
Same.
I eat.
You sex and poo at the same time? How's that work?
You have jokes about absolutely anything. Like that's the beauty of it. It's like I can talk about I talk about my kids a lot on stage because that's my experience as a father. Now having grown kids and wishing I could shrink them back to being kids again when they were fun and they're not assholes.
You've done a lot of things in this industry, right? So you've acted on TV shows, you've written, you've done movies, you do stand-up. Where do you feel the most vulnerable? Like, what's the part of your craft that makes you feel like you're digging deep and you feel like, oh.
All of it. But what I love about stand-up is it's a tightrope over a shark-infested pool every night.
Yeah.
You don't know what joke's gonna work, what's not gonna work, and you're testing your spidey senses and your reflexes.
You be scared?
Never be scared. You're surfing, right? Is a surfer afraid of the ocean? Nah. He's like, oh, look how big that wave is. Let me get on that. You can't go in with a scared person's mentality. You can't let the audience smell fear. If they shut up, sometimes you got a rowdy audience. Listen, if you shut up, I guarantee you, and you pay attention, I'll make you laugh. But what I'm not gonna do is sit there on stage like, would y'all be quiet? I'm just keep doing. If you want to listen, I'ma laugh.
How much is your stuff pre-planned then? How much is it like, or do you just kind of like, where's your art at? Because I know a lot of different comedians have different styles. You know, I saw
it's like a DJ.
Yeah, it's so different.
It's a set list, right?
Yeah,
a playlist.
Yeah.
You go,
yep.
Oh, feel out this crowd. Ooh, they're a little tight. In your head, you start editing out. I'll take this out, or you go, they're a little tight. Let me do some more sexual jokes up front. Let me loosen them up. Let me really work them, and then I'll back into the stuff I want to talk about.
I saw because I went and saw you at Atlanta Improv. You were awesome, and I love how you were making fun of yourself.
Which one was that?
I was like 3 years.
We're here?
No, it was Atlanta Improv.
Atlanta?
Yeah, I saw you in Atlanta like 4 years ago.
That was about 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years ago. You planned a date for my buddy, and it went terrible. And when he took her to your show, he never got a second date. That didn't go well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. And yeah, you were like, how many shit?
I was the entertainment. You supposed to bring that home. Close the deal, buddy. Close the deal.
But what I love, you're like, you even made fun of yourself. You're like, how many movies? I forgot your exact joke, whatever. But how many movies I had to make to buy like all this nice stuff you have in your house and stuff
I didn't
like
say
that.
I'm joking. You gonna say my movies are
No, I wanted to bring it up. So what do you like?
No, I know. It's just, I think you have to make fun of yourself.
Yeah.
It's like I'm an equal opportunity offender. So
yeah.
I make fun of everybody. I make fun of. There's not a culture or a sect of people that I don't find that they're too good or too sensitive for me to make fun of. I make fun of everybody. And here's how I know a good joke. If I crack a joke about a certain group of people and those people are laughing the loudest, then that's a damn good joke. And so that's what I try to do. If I'm going to do jokes about gay people, I want gay people to laugh the loudest. That's the way we and my brothers have always approached our material. When we did White Chicks, you know who laughed the loudest? White chicks. So that's just when we did the two guys that owned the bodega, the Cuban guys and the you know, liked it. Hispanic people, they love that. They were like, "Yo, that's hilarious." So that's just the way we do it with kids' gloves. And I don't try to offend. I try to make you laugh. And some people are just sensitive. I don't know.
Like Karina was saying, the stand-up comedy seems like the hardest grind. I got a lot of friends in the industry, and it's harder than like reading a shitty script and going, "Okay, well, I'm going to get paid a bunch of money for it." Where you do stand-up comedy every single night, man. That's got to be,
man.
Yeah.
You know, I do it also. For me, it's all hard. Sometimes you do a shit script and you make a lot of money. Sometimes you do a great script, you make no money. Sometimes you do a comedy show and nobody shows up, and you know you got paid a lot of money. And sometimes you get paid to do nothing to a packed room. You know, it's just about, as an artist, as many different times you get to step up to the plate and do your art. It's not about the money. It's always about the results of what did you learn from that experience. How did you grow as an artist by challenging yourself that night? And that's all, or that project. For me, I started stand-up 10 years ago because I just wanted to get better as an artist, as a writer, as a producer, as an actor. I just really wanted to grow. And I've been a star for 30 years, but I'm looking to be a superstardom for my next 30. So
wow, well said.
Nice.
Yeah.
On Wokish, you talk about your daughter coming out.
Yes.
Right? Is this a conversation you had with her prior to recording the special? How did that go?
Nah, I mean, look, I got your life rights.
So you didn't tell her?
No, I did it. What you gonna do?
It's so fun. I've had this conversation so many times.
I mean, you know, she told us. I figured she wanted everybody to know.
I've had this conversation with so many people about what can you share when it talks about people in your life.
Sometimes like, Dad, don't do that, and I'm like, relax. But sometimes I'll run my material by my daughter because I'm just like, what do you think of this, Dad? That one, it's funny up until this part, and then it gets a little bit offensive.
I feel like you have a right to share your story, and if their story involves your story, then you have a right, as long as you're not being disrespectful and infringing on their story, which...
You said it nice. Y'all my kids, I'm going to talk about you. You popped out of my balls. And I let you live. I'm going to talk about you. I had decisions to make. You're here. Okay?
Right.
I'm going to talk about you. That's just part of the deal. Okay?
On Netflix, you play like 6 different roles. On
7.
7? Oh, right, because the dad.
Crazy.
So how in the baby Jesus
I don't know.
did you get around that?
I'm still recovering from that one.
Right.
That one took my soul. That was 7 hours of makeup, 15 hours of work after that, hour to take the makeup off, and then I would sleep 2 hours every day for 51 days.
Jesus
And 40 something of those days was in makeup. So it was a very hard movie to do, but like I said, it's a great challenge. And when you get through it, you go, I'm a better artist than I was yesterday. And now I'm doing a drama, the Aretha Franklin story, and I got to do a character, and it's not 7 hours of makeup. All I got to do is wear this ugly ass mustache and an afro rig. But I played 7 characters, so to concentrate on one without concentrating on the jokes and the humor, and it's just like a drama and focus on the emotions, man, that's beautiful. I just love what I do.
How do you do that? How do you navigate your career without being typecasted? Because like you've done so many similar movies, but I feel like you're trying to, like you said, become a superstar in this next 30 years.
You know what's funny is like, I'm not a person, I've never been a guy that you go, hey, Marlon is this, what am I? I've played everything from a little person to a white woman. Like,
I still feel like it somewhat fits in that same genre of fun, goofy, and I feel like I want to see
I've done Requiem for a Dream.
All right.
I've done Lady Killers.
Okay.
I'm one guy that just like I seamlessly go in and out of whatever role.
Sure.
Because I started as an actor and I became a comedian. So comedies, I think it's an underappreciated art form, and that's why I do comedy so much, because I just like the feeling that it gives people. When I see people laugh and smile, it makes my life feel like, yo, that's why God put me here. I don't want to see people cry. I'm used to rescuing people from tears, and but I love drama because I went to performing arts high school. I studied for 4 years. I know how to act, but comedy is very, very hard, and I just love the craft of comedy.
You were almost cast as Robin.
I was. I got $100,000 for that movie.
But how did it?
Don't worry,
Really?
ladies. Sure. Yeah. I seen your little groupie eyes get all big. $100,000, relax. I spent it, or else I would have took you to the Jonas Brothers concert tonight.
She's going already.
I know she doing.
How did it feel when you didn't get to play that role? Like, and can you speak to, in retrospect, like how
Girl, I was
yourself?
almost famous. I'm gonna do a book. It's going to be called Almost Famous, because I was almost the guy that I've been trying to be like for 30 years. And I'm still not that guy. I've never made it. But
what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
It's an aspirational like story, because every time it didn't happen, it's because it wasn't supposed to happen. I had to go back and get something that God wanted me to get to get me forward. People get so locked into when you lose an opportunity, when a door shuts, everybody's so busy looking at that door like a dog looking at a ball asking you to kick it, that you're not looking up. If you just look up, you will see that 1,000 other doors have opened. Pick one. Everybody, I don't care about that opportunity. Like when I of course it hurt when I didn't get Batman. When I got it and I got the call and was like, well, we're not gonna use you in this one. There's too many characters, and that hurt. But it also hurt when Part 3 came and they picked a different Robin. That hurt. But I'm so blessed and so glad that didn't happen. I wasn't ready for that type of success at 19 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand that wasn't what I was supposed to do. That's an opportunity I wasn't ready for. I'm not prepared for it. To make it that young, I would have came and went. But because that opportunity happened and that didn't happen, I learned to create my own television show at 19. I created my own television show, Wayans Brothers, still playing.
My jam.
Thank you. But we created that when we was 19 and 20 years old, because that opportunity wasn't in front of me. When we did Don't Be a Menace. I've written and produced 13 or 15 or 17 movies in my career. I've gone on to do so many great things and I learned to write because I had to, because I wasn't getting these roles. Those opportunities was far and few between. So I'm so blessed that it didn't happen, because I looked up and I said, okay, what can I do to make that career happen whenever it happens? Now I'm looking at my career and looking at the body of work I have. Like, dude, I have 150 episodes of television under my belt, and I've been funny in all 150, written and produced 13 to 15. I don't even know how many movies right now. A lot of them classics, and I'm still looking ahead going, All right, I know my next 3 specials I'm gonna do. I know my this next 2 dramas I got coming. I know everything's opening up, and I'm gonna make it the way God wants me to make it. So don't question God. Just do the work.
I feel like I've been there before too, where you just feel like you missed out on an opportunity, but God has a way of bringing adversity to you to get you stronger and get you ready for something else.
That's your ledger. Don't look at other people and go, why did that person make it? Because that's what God wanted for them.
Yep.
Now you focus on you. How are you gonna make it? This is mine. Nobody has a career like I got. We're all snowflakes. Nobody's journey is the same, right? Snowflakes. Millions of them, billions of snowflakes fall to the ground every winter. You will never find 2 snowflakes alike. Why? Because their journey is all different. Every one of us is humans. Our journeys are different. Don't envy another man. Worry about your journey and focus on that and be grateful to God that you're still living, breathing, and working on your career. There's a book, The Alchemist. If you ever get lost in life.
The Alchemist is great. Yeah,
that's my jam.
Paulo Coelho, you put all. That sounds like some food. That's Puerto Rican food. Give me some Paulo Coelho. No, Paulo Coelho. Yeah, yes. But that book, it's very simple. It tells you that everything that happens in your journey is supposed to happen, but success is not this destination. Success is the road that you travel every day, working toward the dream of success. That's success. If you're working toward it every day, then one day you may see the pyramids, you may not. But at least you had fun trying to get there.
I say all the time,
Marlon with an inspirational word.
Success. Like this when I'm saying.
Success isn't like a pie where like all of a sudden you take a piece and a slice and there's like less. It just doesn't work that way. The last thing I wanted to ask you, because I know you have to get going, is like because you've done so much Netflix stuff, and I know that it's changed the way like we just appreciate cinema. Is it a positive or a negative the way we're seeing streaming services and the way they're experiencing movies as a whole?
I think it's positive. I think the more outlets we get to express in as artists, the more opportunities there is for a lot more people, a lot more cultures, a lot more stories, that we get to hear stories not just from white people, but black people, and we get to hear more Hispanic stories and Latino stories, and we get to hear stories from Asians and Indians and all the different cultures, because we're all artists and we can all express, and now we got all these different outlets. I do love the box office experience, but I'm making a movie. I don't care if it's on this screen or if it's on a huge screen. As long as we got to express what was inside of us and people get to appreciate it and maybe learn something from it or get inspired by it, inspired to tell their stories, man, I'm all for it.
Open up more jobs, more opportunities, more stories are being told, but makes it more competitive.
Make them Wayans work. The more opportunities, the more these Wayans Negroes don't ask me for money.
Respect. Verizon Theater in Grand Prairie.
I'm out. I can't let him leave without asking you about Pops. We lost Pops.
Man, I can't let you leave without making you depressed.
I know.
I know you probably been dodging.
We had this high.
And trying to heal for the past month since he passed, and you cried all month long, and now that you finally feel better, let me ask you about Pops.
No, so tell me about Pops. How do you feel?
This is Oprah.
He's like, oh, shit.
It hurt. You know what I mean? Like, it hurt. There's some things you just can't figure out yet. That one I can't figure out. You know what I mean? There's so many other people they could take. There's, take Trump. Leave Spoon alone. Like, you took the wrong person.
I respect that.
Well, thank you for being open and vulnerable today.
Yeah, thank you for being so inspirational.
It's funny, when I was supposed to be vulnerable, I went for the joke.
Right.
Like, you ain't gonna hit me with hide.
If you want inspiration or jokes, you can get it at the Verizon Theater in Grand Prairie tonight with Marlon Wayans. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.